Hi, this is Tracy Sparrowhawk here, and I am the People's Party candidate for the riding of Regina Capel, and I am in Regina, Saskatchewan. I just thought I would hop on here real quick because I had some thoughts to share just about some things that are happening in the news with the election, and I just wanted to share my thoughts with you. So, if you are new to my channel, I hope you will click on the subscribe button so that you will be able to see whatever new videos I'm uploading during this time of the election, which is on October 21st, 2019. And if you want to be notified, just click the notification bell so that you will know when I've uploaded a new video. And it's been a while, so I thought I would share some new things that are happening because there's always breaking news during this election cycle. It's never a dull moment, that's for sure. So anyway, I just wanted to talk a bit about a story that was in the news recently about a Liberal MP in Montreal who has this, like she said she was not going to run for a second term. In the 2015 election, she won with a very wide margin. She got 46% of the vote in her riding of Vimy in Montreal, and she decided that she's not going to seek another term. And part of the reason why is that she feels that the reason she was going to seek, actually, I should rephrase that. She was going to seek a second term, and then the Liberal Party denied her that opportunity. And there's a whole backstory to this, and it all relates to the Liberal war on women. And I'm calling it that because we have seen ever since Justin Trudeau got elected as Prime Minister of Canada that he has waged war on everybody, including women. And it's especially offensive because he campaigned on being a feminist. And once he got into the leadership role, he portrayed himself as a feminist. He always called himself a feminist. He tried to bring gender issues and gender equality into every conversation with every world leader, every opportunity that he got. And he was always about wanting to fight for equal rights for women. And I'm just very confused because this is 2019, and even in 4 short years ago when he got into power in 2015, we were living in Canada where women have all kinds of opportunity to do whatever we want to do. And if we want to work full time, we can work full time. If we want to go to university and pursue a career, we can do that too. In fact, there are more women in university graduating with degrees than men. And there are women in all kinds of professional careers. There are women who don't want to work, or maybe they just want to work full time. So we have lots of choices as women in Canada in the 21st century. It's not like we're, stuck in a hole somewhere and we can't get out and we need Justin Trudeau to save us. No, 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 no. But anyway, I'm digressing here. So what I just wanted to share is that this war on women started shortly after Justin Trudeau got into office, and they started this war on women through all through their time in power, but it really came to a head in 2017, 2018. And the budget was released in 2018. And I'm not sure if you knew this, but apparently there were 359 times when gender was referenced in the 2018 budget. And with all of this interest in gender equality and making the budget gender, trying to have more focus on women and women's issues in the budget, there were some things that didn't quite apply in that area. One area was the carbon tax. And Bill Morneau, who is the finance minister, and he was at the time, he was in a committee meeting with Michelle Rempel, who challenged him on the carbon tax and wanted to know if the government had done a cost analysis comparing how the carbon tax would affect women as opposed to men. And this was an interesting question because women, we're half of the economy or half of the population, at least half. We contribute to the economy in various ways. We are driving around. We're taking our kids to all their events and their sporting things, and driving to teacher meetings, and taking our kids to all kinds of appointments. And we're always on the go. So he was asked 3 different times if there was a gender analysis for the carbon tax. And he couldn't answer that question, or he chose not to. It's hard to tell with the Liberals because they just never answer a direct question. And so she kept pressing him on whether there was a gender analysis done. And of course, he kept deflecting the question and choosing not to answer it. So at the end of the day, she said, I'm going to assume that the answer is no. And basically, what she surmised was that the carbon tax was sexist because women will bear the brunt of this burden, this financial burden with the carbon tax, because of all the things that we're doing with our families and with our kids, and taking them. The women are the primary ones who usually have to take kids to doctors, and take them to school and drop them off, get them to sporting events. If you have more than one kid, and you have a husband or a partner, he's taking one kid to their thing and you're taking your kid to another thing. So, there's always extra gas that has to be, put into the vehicle to get kids to wherever they need to be. And so, women are going to bear the brunt of this. Plus, women may not work in jobs that get paid as much as men. Women may not work full time as much as men. Some women even can stay home with their kids. So that puts an even bigger burden on them. And then you've got single mothers who, they're the sole caregivers. And if they're having to run their kids around, then they're also even more impacted by this carbon tax. So that was one area where the war on women is being waged. Then another area with Bill Morneau is just the Liberal government's whole attitude toward women. On the one hand, they're saying they're fighting for gender equality. Then on the other hand, they're calling us names and being very derogatory and very patriarchal, however you say that. So in another committee meeting, Bill Morneau, again, the finance minister at the time, called Lisa Raitt a Neanderthal. Well, he didn't exactly call her that directly, but basically what he said, she didn't agree with the budget in 2018, and Bill Morneau said, and I will quote here, the liberal government will drag along the Neanderthals that don't agree with them. So basically, he was calling her a Neanderthal. And some stats that were put out after the budget was released reported that 18% of Canadian women agreed with the budget, while 82% had questions. So I guess these 82% of the women who had questions about the budget or didn't agree with the budget are Neanderthals as well. And Bill Morneau, he was given the opportunity to, step up and take responsibility and apologize. And he could not, and he did not apologize. So here we have in our government these two middle-aged white men. We have Justin Trudeau, and Bill Morneau, who are basically in this budget, because there was so much reference to gender, and trying to get women to go into talking about getting women into STEM jobs and trades jobs. And basically, what they were saying is that women aren't contributing enough to the economy. So, ladies, you must step up, do your part, get a full-time job either, or go back to school and get a STEM, get into STEM, some kind of field, or get into the trades. And why do they want women to be working more? And why do they want women to have be working in higher paying jobs? Well, I wonder why. That would probably put them in a higher tax bracket so that they could take more income tax from them. So this whole idea of fighting for women's rights is nothing but a tax grab by the Liberals. They want us to be working more, getting out, so A, they can take more money from us. B, we'll have to put our kids in childcare, so that will be their excuse for implementing some kind of universal childcare program that will basically start to indoctrinate our children into ideas that, you know, as a parent, you should have full authority over your children and what they're learning. But if they're in an institutionalized daycare setting all day, you have no idea. You have no control over what they're learning. So they just want women to be, be stronger contributors to the economy, and um, so that they can take more money from us. But basically, today, if you look back to 2015 compared to today, do you think you're better off? Do you think you're, with grocery bills rising, gas prices are all over the place, costs for everything have gone up? Are you better off today than you were in 2015? There's more families in poverty today than there were just 4 short years ago. And because we're bringing home less money and poverty levels are increasing, this affects women more. And the women that are affected by this are First Nations women who are not living on the reserve. They're affected 4 times more likely in poverty. Women with a disability and visible minorities are 3 times more likely to be poor. Single mothers are twice as likely to be poor. So um, this really is a full out assault on women. And as much as Justin Trudeau tries to portray himself as a feminist and being inclusive and tolerant, we all know that he's a big fat fake. And he threw out any woman in his cabinet who had any kind of integrity and showed backbone and would not do what he said. So you just have to look at Jody Wilson-Raybould, which was the biggest scandal, along with Jane Philpott. Now this Montreal area MP who's come out and said, because, now this is getting back to my first part, this Montreal MP who's not seeking re-election, she said that the reason that she's not going ahead with this in a second term was because she was kind of forced out because she did not lift up Trudeau as the feminist during the Jody Wilson-Raybould scandal. And what she is saying, that she was denied her nomination as a Liberal candidate in her riding for the October 21st election. And this story was published in the Globe and Mail very recently. She won in 2015, and she said that after she won and as government went forward, she was subject to bullying, harassment, and intimidation by 3 male MPs. And when she brought this to the attention of the upper people, nothing was done. And then when she decided she was going to run again a second time, at the beginning. She wasn't met with any resistance, but I guess they must have just looked at her social media and they realized that she wasn't saying how Justin Trudeau was a feminist or and how she was supporting him. She didn't post anything about that because she wanted to be true to herself, be authentic, and have integrity, which is what we expect of our government officials. She didn't believe that he acted as a feminist, and she wanted to stay true to her values. So she just didn't say anything, which is fine. Isn't that what our mothers told us? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Well, that's what she did. She took the high road. Um, and then she talked to Trudeau directly, which she reported to the Globe and Mail. And after that conversation in May, I guess, is when that happened, she was denied the nomination. And the Liberal Party came out and said that she did not meet the vetting standards. Well, how could that be? She met the vetting standards in 2015. She met all the party requirements. She signed up people as members. She got monthly donations. She got other donations from people in the riding. So she met all the qualifications, but for some reason they said she wasn't, with some reason which they didn't divulge, they said that she didn't meet their standards. So that is interesting. So I just want you to know going forward that this election means so much to Canada. We have a big choice to make. We can stay with the Liberals. We can move to the Conservatives, which, it's like the lesser of two evils, or maybe the same evil dressed up. We're not sure because from what I've seen of the Conservatives, they're not any different than the Liberals. Or we have a real choice. We have Maxime Bernier with the People's Party of Canada. And I'm so proud to be representing the People's Party of Canada for the riding of Regina Cabal. And I really hope if you're watching this video for the first time that you will take a look at the People's Party platform and just see how it can speak to all Canadians. Maxime Bernier has a vision for Canada that he wants to unite us, focus on issues that unite us as Canadians, and not worry about any special interest groups, any lobby groups, any corporate welfare, just to get back to being a country that is united, that is prosperous, that is conservative. We have common values, and it really is an amazing platform, and I hope you will check it out. The debates are October 7th, the English debate, and October 10th for the French. So if you get a chance to see Maxime Bernier, who's been allowed into the debates, if you get a chance to watch that debate, I hope you will, really pay attention to what Bernier has to say, because he's a very strong man, strong convictions, firm in his convictions, and he wants to make Canada strong and free again. So I will sign off now. If you have any comments, just leave them and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I will leave a link in the description to the People's Party of Canada website so you can go check it out yourself. And I hope you have a good night. Thanks. Bye-bye. See you on the next video.